Today, Miss Wells is going to read Stephanie's Ponytail.
I love that.
Good. Now we're going to compare these two books. What do you think the objective is? Why are we doing this? Okay, why are we doing this?
So we can get better at Venn diagrams.
That's right, so we can get better at Venn diagrams. We're expanding our vocabulary, and we're also working on reading new material. Different stories that you might not have read before. And some of you have. We're going to read from the book. Today we're reading Stephanie's Ponytail. Raise your hand. Who can give me a prediction on what you think might happen in the story Stephanie's Ponytail? If you don't know yet, if you haven't read this book, give me a prediction. Riley, what do you think might happen?
Her mom can't put her ponytail in.
Her mom can't put her ponytail up. Let's see. Jacob, can you tell me what happened in the beginning of the story? In the beginning of our Stephanie's Ponytail, what happened in the beginning? She wanted a ponytail in the back of her head, right? And Daxton, what happened in the story when she went to school? What those kids tell her? They told her ponytail looks ugly. Oh, I bet that made her feel so terrible. What happened, Riley, when she went to school the next day?
All of them were wearing it.
They all had a ponytail in the back of their head, right? They were kind of copying her. I know, and then some of those boys started doing it too. Everybody wanted to be like Stephanie.
Even the teacher.
And the teacher.
And the teacher got
What
bald.
happened at the end of the story, Jackson? What happened? What'd you tell me?
The teacher got bald.
The teacher and all the kids went to school bald. Why?
Because Stephanie said, I'm going to get a haircut tomorrow.
Yep. Stephanie tricked him. She said, I'm going to get my hair cut and I'm going to get bald hair. And did she?
No.
No, but she knew that everybody else was going to do it because she said she was going to, right? So some of your predictions were right when we read the story, and some of them were a little bit off.
Yep.
Today we're doing what? Emma Kate, what are we going to do? What's this thing called?
Venn diagram.
Venn diagram. So what do we do here in the middle? Bentley?
Something in common happens.
Something in common. We're going to be talking about purple, green, and yellow, the book you guys read yesterday. And we're going to be talking about Stephanie's Ponytail. We're going to talk about how they're the same and how they are different. That's right. I need you guys to get out your offices. Just all of you to write 5, 5, and 5. I want you to tell me 5 things that happened in the purple, green, and yellow story. 5 things that happened in Stephanie's Ponytail. And 5 things that happened in both of the stories together. Daxton, you get to write 3, 3, and 3. Okay? So you can write 3 things that happened in this one, 3 things that happened in Stephanie's Ponytail, and 3 things that are the same. Can you do that right, buddy? Yes. Oh, Faith asked such a great question. She said, can you write more than 5? Yeah. If you get 5 and you say, oh, but I know so much more about Stephanie's Ponytail. Excuse me. I want to write more things. So you can write more things about Stephanie's Ponytail. If you get done and you've written 5, 5, and 5, and you write more, or you say, I know a really good picture that I think I could draw that has to do with Stephanie's Ponytail, I'm going to draw a picture down here at the bottom. Is that okay? Yeah, as long as it has to do with the story. I don't want you drawing pictures of dinosaurs in Stephanie's Ponytail because that has nothing to do with the story, okay? Yes, Bill. Sure. As long as it has to do with the story, you can. But you can't draw pictures until after you've written your 5 things about purple, green, and yellow, And your 5 things about Stephanie's ponytail.
And 5 things about both.
And 5 things about both. That's right. Why do you think we're doing these? Why do we talk about we're doing Venn diagrams?
Because we know Venn diagrams.
That's right. We're knowing more. It tells us more about Venn diagrams. It tells us what is the Venn diagram doing? What are we doing with these 2 stories? We can tell them apart. What are we telling about them? What's that C word that we talked about? We are comparing. We're comparing 2 stories so that we know what each one is about. What do you got? That teacher was wrong. That's right. What happened in purple, green, and yellow? Something that happened. Okay, write it. Right now, it should be silence is golden. I want to know what you know. I don't want to know what your partner knows. I want to know what you know. One bullet. Oh, I love it, Mia. What could you get out if you don't know how to spell something?
Spelling dictionary!
Your spelling dictionary. We have lots of words in there that will help you when you're writing.
And they can give you ideas. If there's a word that you would put,
Could give you ideas. That's right. Don't know how to spell a word and it's not in your spelling dictionary, I want you to sound it out as best you can. You're not going to get counted off for your spelling if you're trying your best, okay? Today we've talked about author's purpose. The purpose of this story was to entertain, right? We're working on our Venn diagram because we're doing what, Daxton? What's the word I'm looking for? Comparing. We're comparing 2 stories, purple, green, and yellow, and we're comparing Stephanie's ponytail. The Venn diagram helps us organize the 2 stories, right? It also gives us a chance to expand our vocabulary. We can look at different stories that we might not have read before. guys are all working so hard. You're gonna get an exceptional Eagle Point for working so hard. Max, can you give me one of the ways that both of these stories were the same?
They both repeated the words.
They both had words that were repeating. Good. What about Emma Kate? What's one of the ways that this story was the same, that the two stories were the same?
They both were entertaining.
They were both entertaining. So if we don't have that written down in both, where can that go? Good, we can write it down, right? They're both entertaining. Yes, right. Let's see, Tyler, could you tell me something that happened in purple, green, and yellow that didn't happen in Stephanie's ponytail? She begged. What'd she beg about? To get the markers. She begged to get the markers. Katie, what's something that happened in Stephanie's ponytail? She had a ponytail. Did she just have one ponytail? Which way did it go? She had one that went up. Did she have one that went forward?
Yeah.
She had one that went back. One to the side. She had all one like a tree. Have one up here like a tree.
When she tripped down,
Yeah.
I can't think of one for both.
Oh, we just gave 3. We just gave 2 for both.
I forgot this. They were both entertaining. The author wrote both of them to entertain, right?
What? Yep. You can draw a picture about the story. Oh, Samuel, I love it. He's written some really good ones.
I need 2 more till I'm done.
Keep going. Good. Keep working. Yes. This is my video number 2 over differentiated instruction. Question 1 asks, how did you differentiate the lesson for individual or for groups of students? I only had one student. I only have one student in my class who is labeled SPED or has an IEP. What I did for him is lessen the assignment. All the other students had to find 5, 5, and 5 for their Venn diagrams. 5 in each section. He only had to do 3. He was told he only had to do 3. He's very knowledgeable as far as knowing that he can do less than everybody else. So I only had him do 3, but I encouraged him to do more, which he had no problem doing more. So he ended up doing just as much, if not more, than the other students in the class. So I was very impressed with the way that he worked. the challenges that arose in my lesson, the only big for me challenge that I saw was that since we had really worked on Venn diagrams the week that we did it, the kids were kind of like, Venn diagram again. But this was one that we were taking as a grade. We did one together, they did it in groups, and then we did one where they were graded on it. And this happened to be the one that they were graded on. And some of them were very dependent on, like, what do? I have no idea. I did ask questions and have them answer, so they had the opportunity to listen and know what the answers were, but some of them still struggled with that. I think next time I would have them do one as a group and kind of go around and help them like I did, but take out the one that we did all together, because then it was just way too much for them. At the end of the week, they were tired of doing Venn diagrams, and I don't want them to feel like, oh, we do this all the time, even if it's just 3 times throughout the week. That'll be how changing my approach in the future lessons, based on what I learned this lesson, would be I'm going to cut that out next time and do something different to try to keep them engaged and not feel as though that's something that they have to do every time. Overall, I felt like my lesson went pretty well. I did a pretty good job getting what I needed to recorded. I tried to make sure that I was getting all my points in the time frame that we have. Even though my lesson was longer, I tried to make sure that I talked about what they needed to in the beginning, and then we talked about the objectives in the middle, and we talked about the objectives in the end. So they were very aware of what we were learning. So hopefully you like it. Thank you.